the Players Chatter podcast with Game Crazy and Jordan.
Jordan.
No,
Oh,
basically what happened was we were going over draft prospects. We can touch on that a little bit later into the show after we recap like the conference finals, current situation before the NBA finals, and of course we also have awards that Jordan's gonna give me a little bit of shit over because well he earned it. He predicted it. He got a couple of them right. He got more of them
mm-hmm.
right than I did. Um, and last but not least, um, so to continue in off of that, now we're going to go ahead and get started with the Players Channel podcast, hosted by yours truly, Jordan, with special guest myself.
Yo. Last time we got together, Ryan, was episode 5. I think we just checked. So it was 4 episodes ago. This is
Yep.
episode 9 now. Title incoming. And last time, like you said, we talked about March Madness. We talked about NBA award addictions. And we probably rambled about a couple other things then. But most definitely, those draft prospects are getting ready to be drafted. um, the
Oh yeah, no
the
question
positioning.
about it. I think vast majority of the ones that I was looking at were probably going to be mostly second rounders, all things considered. Would I be surprised if they were late first rounders? No, because there are teams out there who, especially in the later rounds, that need help on the freaking backboard. And that's a lot of what I was focusing on my draft prospects.
It was rebounding
hmm
for
Not a
teams in
glory
general
stat,
or
but it
for
helps win teams in general. It's like it's not a glory stat, but it's one of those ones that not only show up in the box score, but also really show who's really trying to put in the effort to try to win the game. You maximize your possessions. Uh, well, yeah, making shots will definitely. Anybody making shots will definitely cut down on boards. But let's be honest, in a game of basketball, there's always going to be more misses than there's going to be hits.
right. And it's funny that you mentioned rebounding so early on because I was at the gym yesterday and I was listening to if it's not the latest, it is the one right before it, the Draymond Green podcast, and he was talking about Tristan Thompson and how important his rebounding was in like the limited minutes that he had during these playoff series or last game or something he was talking about. He was talking about Tristan Thompson and how important that veteran rebounding is or was, and how many teams, like you said, like I said, Tristan Thompson is, until Draymond's words, he was serviceable or is serviceable for 20 plus teams just for the effort he gives on the glass alone, not including veteran status and everything like that. So it's crazy that you just brought up rebounding and how important that is. Do you have any draft prospects that you feel like will come out to be great rebounders, or teams that they can go to where they'll be needed right away?
No question, Wembenyana is definitely going to be great on the boards. At 7'6", he better be great on the boards.
Yeah,
Um, but I think it was there was a center I was looking at that was in the playoffs. I want to say it was not Texas. I forgot what it was, but he only had. I
who?
remember one game that he had. It was like 4 points and 12 boards. I can't remember his
Nah,
name. Hold
you're
on one
you're
second.
thinking about, yeah, okay. Nah, I think I remember who you're talking about. I'm wait till you put the headset back on. I think I remember who you're talking about, bro. 1 second, you guys. We'll cut this part out.
Sorry, kiddo was one
Oh,
of the
you
kids
good,
was
bro?
checking to see what I was doing.
You good, bro? We can. I'll keep it in the live part. We could always cut it out later, or if not, then we're cool because we're rocking with it. But I think I remember who you're talking about, bro. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was Derek Lively from Duke.
Yeah, yes, him. I think he's going to be a fantastic rebounder. Actually, having gone back and looked at some of the plays that he's been involved in and everything like that, one thing he does well is outlet passing. He's going to be a rebounder and outlet passer, probably even passing it out of the post if he's not taking it back up himself. He's going to do a lot of stuff. His game reminds me a lot of Ben Wallace. Can't obviously he's not going to be doing a whole lot of anything outside of 10 feet offensively, but he's going to be there grabbing your boards, playing good defense, boxing somebody out. Because let's be honest, boxing people out and everything like that. That's a lost art these days. I'm seeing when I'm watching these games. You're not seeing a whole lot of boxing out
No, there's no
because
aggression on the rebound on the rebounding uh, in the rebounding aspect.
exactly. And Derek Lively, I think, is going to be key to a lot of teams who like to push that tempo up there. You want somebody who's going to be able to help create fast breaks, he's going to be the one to do it. And I think he's going to be a mid round draft pick. And the team that gets him, I believe, that would benefit most. The two teams I think that would benefit most from him would be Portland, the
No,
Blazers. Nothing against Nurkic or anything like that, but he doesn't seem like he's putting in half the effort that he usually does anymore over these last season and a half or so. And I don't want to say the Pelicans, the Hornets. There we go.
the Hornets. See, I don't know if I didn't check the entire draft lottery thing. So I don't know if the Hornets have another pick later down the line, but I don't see them grabbing Derek Lively at number two.
No, I don't see
They're
them
not.
grabbing him at number two, but they would seriously benefit from picking him up. I think he's going to be a mid first round draft pick. Again, I'm no expert. I'll be the first person to tell you that right now. This is just my opinion. Um, and I think he's going to be great for the NBA to really bring back that old school big man that can actually pass down court.
Hmm. He's
Fast
probably
break points are usually the best way to score, right?
right. So do you think Lively's the most serviceable player right now in the draft? Like I said, that's ready to come in and impact the team, especially like for what they need for. Do you think he's the most serviceable?
I think so, yes. Another team that would actually benefit from him, actually, now that I think about it, is depending on how they want to slot players, even the Bulls would benefit from him.
Yeah, especially if they're looking to get rid of Vujovic coming in this upcoming off season. They're gonna need
My
someone to fill
understanding,
that
I think
spot.
his contract's coming to term. Yeah, I think his contract is coming to terms now that I think about it. But that would actually benefit very well, though, when you consider. But what the Bulls really need are players who can help space the floor because while Levine and DeRozan live in the mid range, you're not going to see them down threes all the time and everything like that. Zach Levine's better at three balls than DeRozan is. Um,
But
my
shoot,
opinion,
there's
obviously.
no guarantee that they're both gonna be here next year.
Exactly. The Bulls need to tear it down and rebuild ultimately, but they're locked into Levine long term.
You think so?
And well, yeah, they just this last offseason, they signed him to a 4-year extension worth 236 mil.
Hey man, things change. Things change, man. Anything can happen.
I agree, but that also all depends on what it is. But the Bulls need to tear it down and actually commit to a rebuild at this point. They need to find some way to get out of Lonzo Ball's contract because 2 years may not even play next year either.
Exactly. Yeah,
On the injury list,
they're in a very tough spot. I
dude,
agree.
exactly. So the Bulls are in a tough spot. They just need to commit to a full rebuild. I don't know how to get out of Lonzo Ball's setup right now because of his injuries. Uh, and literally all the players that we have on the bench would really benefit very well from starting off on a rebuild. Dosumu being going into his third season now, I believe. Uh, Patrick Williams also would be White even especially. All those players who don't have all that time on the floor and experience at the NBA level because they're all coming off the bench, or Pat Williams in this case, just definitely seems like he needs a little bit more time to really warm up to the NBA speed. Um, but coming from positionless basketball like it is right now with how things are going, He definitely does fit well at the 4, but uh, it's just one of those things. Like Bulls need to commit to a full blown rebuild. There's no question about it. Um,
I feel you on that because the same thing Orlando had to do with Vujovic and Gordon. They had to get rid of both of them and start anew and build up
hmm
on what they were left with.
You know
Uh,
what? Now that I think about it, I think Orlando might benefit from Lively as well. Don't get me wrong. I know they got Wendell Carter the third, and he's been balling out lately, or Wendell Carter Jr., and he's been balling out ever since he got there. The change of scenery really changes to how he plays.
mm-hmm.
Um,
Coming off the
but I
Bulls.
think that might be it. Exactly. Um,
Oh man, Bulls fans
but
must be
I
hurting.
think they would at least. Oh yeah, dude. No, me personally, I ever since the issues with the Derrick Rose injuries and then letting him leave when they did was honestly a sign of bad things to come, and that's mostly because I don't trust our front office to do the right thing most of the time.
I understand that feeling. I mean, I don't feel that feeling because if I were to be a fan, like I said, I'm going hometown team. It's gonna be Miami, and I feel like Miami makes a lot of good moves. So I can't say I feel you, but I do
Well,
understand where you're
yeah, they
coming
also
from.
don't. Well, yeah, they also don't have the issues in the coaching staff either.
Yeah,
Like Spolstra, like I have all the respect in the world for Spolstra being a head coach as he is, especially when you consider the fact that he really started his coaching career a long ass time ago, literally just watching tape
hmm
in the video rooms for the organization. So
Well,
Spolstra's ascension to head coach in Miami was just hmm, near seamless. It seemed like.
well, shoot, man. Well, we know not Boston. We know Chicago has to make some moves coming up this in its free agency in this off season, and we can come back to that. But we got to come back to last thing we talked about these award celebrate not celebrations, the award races, end of the season award races. We had that talk about who was gonna win MVP, Rookie of the Year, yada yada yada. Some of them were pretty straightforward and easy, like the Rookie of the Year. We knew Paula was gonna get that.
Oh, no question.
Um, DPOY,
Most improved player, yeah, defensive player of the year. Who won that again? I forgot.
Jaren Jackson
Jaron
Jr.
Jackson Jr.
I think it was pretty much when
That
we were
was
talking
pretty.
about it. It was between him, Brooke, and somebody else. But we kind of knew he was gonna
Um,
win that too.
yeah.
Um,
One award that kind of caught me off guard because I did not have Laurie Markkinen stepping up the way he did all season happening. Him earning most improved player, definitely well deserved. Definitely well deserved.
another player
Um,
from Chicago.
and yep,
Oh man, and I kind
we
of
can
feel
draft the
bad.
players, but we don't have the coaching staff we just don't have the coaching staff to really unlock their potential.
I see that because like I'm not gonna lie to you, there's certain players that come into the league. I look at them, I watch them play a couple times, and I'm like, that player is gonna be nice. You know, that happened for me when it came with Booker. It happened for me with Tatum. It happened for me with Donovan Mitchell. Just players that just came in. I'm like, okay, yeah, this person is gonna
Mm-hmm.
step into stardom. Same thing happened for Laurie, but this is the part I feel bad. I actually gave up on Laurie marketing after a while, after like probably like the third, fourth season of him in Chicago, I was like, okay, this man's not gonna really be doing much. But I wasn't, I wasn't as ignorant as I was. I wasn't necessarily blaming him for the fall, but like, it's the players, the team, type of thing. But I just thought that he wasn't gonna do much because of how he was for like the first couple of seasons. And I didn't really think that was more of a Chicago's fault type of thing. I knew he was a bucket, and I also knew that he wasn't getting touches, but like things like that. But I did not expect him to do it. Like you said, I did not expect him to do what he did this year. Like it kind of woke me back up. I was like, oh yeah, this is what I thought he was going to be doing. Why couldn't he do it last
I'm still
year?
I'm still surprised Şengün wasn't even uh Alperen Şengün of the Rockets wasn't considered for the award either because honestly, if you ask me, he should have been up there as a possibility for that. But
It's probably just
Is
team
what it
record,
is.
bro. The Rockets were just so bad, from a record standpoint,
Oh,
from a seeding standpoint.
dude. From a record standpoint, they were the worst team in the league.
Yeah. So it's kind of hard to
From
give
a record
someone a most
standpoint, but
improved player. I know the award is a player award, but when your team's the worst in the NBA, like how can you really say you improved if your team didn't improve? Like you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know.
right.
That's a tricky situation for him.
That it is. My other thing is to anybody who said that Shea got robbed wasn't watching the Thunder last season. Don't
Yeah,
get me wrong. He definitely did a hell of a lot better this season than he did last season. I'll be the first person to tell you that. He definitely did, but the fact of the matter is he was still balling out with OKC last season.
most def, most def. And then my boy Embiid won the MVP.
Hey,
I'm not taking no Embiid slander, bro. I'm not hearing that in fraud. I'm not hearing that fake VP. Like I'm not hearing none of that crap, bro. The man earned his MVP award. It's a regular season award. Him losing in the second round has nothing to do with that.
and I agree with that. And then the only other thing that I have to say about it, and no, it's not a slander on Embiid. I will be the first person to say that. For a lot of people, for a lot of people, especially with the voters, even though it's a regular season award, we all know one thing is true: recency bias matters.
Oh man, recently, bro, there's certain things that have been trending and like just sports talk generally last couple of years. I just can't stand by recency bias, trolling. Like pretty much since the bubble, NBA
Mm.
Twitter has been in shambles. Since the bubble, that
It is
whole
funny though.
LeFraud,
I
LeMickey
will
crap,
say
I
this
can't
though.
stand it.
It is absolutely freaking hilarious though, because to see how many people who don't get basketball just to come out here and talk their shit, and it's absolutely freaking hilarious that they don't understand that. I guarantee vast majority of these people that clearly don't know what the hell they're talking about have never sat down and watched an entire game of basketball.
Yeah, nothing more than YouTube Shorts. YouTube Shorts and the same videos that everyone
Something.
else shows you. Like, come on, bro.
Last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. Yeah, but the game's already been over because this other team's up by like 40.
Yeah, did you not watch the other 46 minutes? Did you not see how it got to that point? Like, come on. It doesn't. I'm not even going to get into that.
Exactly.
I'm not even like not even going to get into that.
Exactly. Oh my god.
But
Exactly. I know.
it's frustrating, bro.
Here's a
I
little.
understand. It's frustrating. That's
Here's a
something
little
I'll
fun
never be
fact
able to
for you.
get. Go ahead.
Um. Obviously, you know how 2K does their seasons and everything like that, like every 40 days and everything like that. So I'm one of those people who like to change my build every season. This time, last season, it was a Ben Wallace center build. I've showed you that build, I believe.
Mhm.
This time around, it is a Tracy McGrady
Okay, you showed me
shooting
that one
guard.
too.
I did?
You showed me all of yours. You
Yeah.
said
Oh
them
yeah.
all
That's right.
to.
Oh
You
yeah.
said
That's right.
all
I
of them
did.
to me in
I
that
did.
one day.
I did. I did.
I was going back and forth between them too. I was like, okay, what's different about this build that this the other one doesn't have, or like definitely like the Tim Duncan and Bill Wallace. I was definitely comparing those two. I was like, what's different from this one, like stuff like that. But there's yeah, you definitely did right by all of those players from the comparisons. You definitely did right by all of them.
Mm.
But yeah, well,
I
as
am
you
a
were saying
student of
though,
the game.
so
Anyway, yeah. As I was saying. Um. What was I saying?
you said this season you're going with a Ben Wallace build. You try to give me a fun fact for the
No,
viewers.
that was the fun. I was like, vast majority of people like. Quick little thing of trivia: who are the first three people you think of when you think of a? When I'm gonna list a particular position in basketball. I want you to give me the first three people you immediately think of. Okay,
All right.
point guard. Who are the first three people you think of?
Chris Paul, John Stockton, John Wall.
Not bad. Not bad. I think Stockton. I think Boston style Rondo, and I think and I do think
Listen,
CP3.
actually,
Thank you.
this might be pretty nice.
Um,
I didn't even think we would come to this like this. I was gonna start talking about Embiid and stuff, but this might be nice too. Okay, shooting guard, go.
First three people that immediately come into play is automatically going to be Jordan, Kobe, and Carter.
Kobe, Jordan, and Carver. I got the first two. For the third one, I'm going Wade.
Vince Carter.
My third one would be
Fair
Wade.
enough. All right. Small forwards.
Small forward, I think of KD, Scotty, and I'll just go with LeBron because that does pop. You did say first three to pop up, so those are the first three to pop up.
Yeah, first three that pop them. Yeah, first three that pop in my head to me is obviously LeBron. I can't sit here and deny that he's definitely one of the best players. I'm not going to sit here and call him the GOAT because to me he's not. Bird is in that conversation. Is also one of the first three small forwards I think of, and this might be a little bit off the wall when I say this, but Iggy.
Iggy, I was not expecting that. That's the first top three that comes up in your head when you hear small forward. That's pretty fire. That's pretty fire. Power forwards. I'll go first.
Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett. Yeah, go ahead. You do it.
Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett. No, go ahead and finish up, man.
Yeah, Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, and Gasol, Powell, actually, to be precise.
Okay. For me, I was gonna say KG, AD, and Dirk, or Malone. Or Malone.
All right.
And then centers, the last position.
Now,
my first three.
I've already got.
Hakeem's always on my mind because he's one of my all-time favorite players. Embiid is always on my mind because it's pretty much that's the style that he takes after, and then Bill Russell. Those are my top three centers that pop up in my head just off rip. Even though you can easily say Bill Russell, Kareem, Wilt, whoever, but I always got Hakeem one.
All right, for me it's Shaq. Always the first one that pops in my mind. Ben Wallace, I actually did have the pleasure of watching him. Watching him play ball, and I love his style of play. And of course, Hakeem Olajuwon. You can't sit there and have that conversation and not have him. But I do have to give an honorable mention because he pops in roughly about the same time in Dikembe Mutombo.
Mutombo, man. No.
Gotta love the finger wag.
That's not a bad list, man. Like just on the spot, those aren't bad players. All collectively, that's not bad at all.
Mm-hmm.
But,
never is.
Back to the Embiid talk real quick about that whole MVP thing, and I was saying the MVP has nothing to do with their loss in the second round. First of all, kudos to Boston for closing out in Game 7.
No question.
That was right. I think that was the game right after, if not 2 games after, where that analyst was talking about how Tatum doesn't have the killer instinct that Mike and Kobe has. I think I covered that in one of my previous episodes. But where I
we were gonna touch on that.
Okay.
I did have plans on touching on that.
We can touch on that, and then right after I wanted to get into again, like it's Philly. I wanted to talk about Harden and what his plans are.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah,
but,
that's how we'll rotate.
Let's definitely talk about Tatum though. That's a good one because I only got to talk about it like to myself. I didn't get to talk to another person about it. So how do you feel about that take? Just before Game 7, just when you first heard the take that he didn't have killer instinct, what was your thoughts on that?
Okay, I'm gonna say it like this. It's not a good take, but it's not a bad take. It's a fair take to assume that because, and I'm saying this mostly on recent games, especially this last game, how in the fourth, not in the Game 4, but in Game 3, how he became more passive in the fourth quarter as opposed to taking over, being the scorer that we all know he can be.
Mm-hmm.
On that same token, when I say that, even the coach came out and said he did not have his guys ready to go.
Okay.
That's to me, I think. To me, with that, yes, it's a fair take, but Tatum's still on a rookie deal, ain't he? Correct me if I'm wrong.
He shouldn't be.
I could have swore he was. I
He
don't know.
shouldn't be. They came in like 16, 17. They should be long off that.
Oh yeah, no question about that. I don't know. I haven't been keeping track.
Maybe like that.
Right.
Time flies, man.
Exactly. But Tatum has to know when to override the coach and become the coach on the floor, as opposed to waiting for something coming from the bench. That's how you start developing that killer instinct.
Okay.
Is knowing when it's time to take over, knowing when you've got the hot hand and taking advantage of that, and also taking advantage of your matchup. While he's got Butler on him, that means yes, I have every full confidence that he could have that killer instinct. Butler still being one of the better defenders in our league. Um, at that point, he should be deferring off to Horford, who is an easy bucket on the three line because people still leave him open for some reason.
I feel like Miami has been doing that for like
Jaylen Brown as well too.
it.
But I think it's just having that killer instinct is knowing when to be that person to take over, depending on your matchup and how the game is going.
Okay, I can see that. I took it more of a stance, because he wasn't performing that well. So I thought, I think his name is Colin Cowherd or Cowherd,
Colin
something.
Cowherd.
Yeah,
I know who you're talking about.
that's the man who said it.
Cowherd.
I just remembered the freaking name. That's the analyst that was saying that Tatum didn't have the killer instinct. But I was taking it from more of a stance like Tatum was performing well. So he was like, oh yeah, basically Tatum is choking. Meanwhile, I'm over here thinking like he's just having some, like, you know what I'm saying? Like this is this is a playoff series. It's not a regular season thing where you got a general game plan and the other team also has like a generic game plan to go against this team or whatever. This is a 7-game series where these guys are studying just for you. Bless you. This is like they're studying just for you. So of course he's bound to have some rough nights. They're aiming for him to have rough nights. Like they're directing their entire focus onto this guy or a group of players. That's why I wanted to say for Horford, like they've been leaving him open, yeah, because I feel like Miami is sort of settling in that thing. That's why people were saying that's why they ended up losing last night, is because they've been giving Boston those shots, forcing the background players to step up, and it's been working in their favor up until last night when Horford had finally started hitting shots. People started finally coming off of cold streaks. Yeah. I feel like I was running on with
Eddie
that.
House. Yeah, it's gonna be like Eddie House all over again to see who's streaky.
Pretty much, bro. Like you can give them shots, sure. If they're not hitting them, if they're not hitting their shots, then keep giving it to them. Bless you. If I'd rather have Horford hit 3 threes and see where he can go with that than have Tatum get 3 early threes and know that he's about to be on a hot hand. Like
Exactly.
I'll let everyone else take shots and then guard up on Tatum and Brown and see what they can do around that with that. All right, we're back recording. Sorry about that, you guys. My AirPods have some technical difficulties, so we had to stop the broadcast, and we're back live again. I believe again we were talking about this Tatum killer instinct. For time purposes, we're gonna skip over that Harden free agency. We're just gonna leave Philly where it's at. We're just gonna get straight into this Eastern Conference Finals, Western Conference Finals matchups that are pretty much being wrapped up around now. The Heat play in a little under an hour now. So how do you?
About 30 minutes should be tip off.
Yes, sir. And how do you feel the Eastern Conference Finals been going so far? Obviously, Miami was looking to sweep. They were up 3-0. Now it's 3-1. Boston stole the game, and they're going back to Boston right now. So coming off of that killer instinct talking about Tatum, how do you feel he did last night?
Stepped up, yes. And I really do think that he took a step in the right direction of trying to find a way to climb their way out of this hole, but I still think it's going to be insurmountable. I do think uh, the big key is just keep boxing out, keep grabbing, and if Celtics keep grabbing offensive boards like they have been, their chances will skyrocket to keep pushing through. But Miami's got to find a way to got to get back on grabbing boards because that was what was at the end of the day. I really do think, despite really Boston doing everything else better but scoring, Miami needs to come out swinging at that glass without question.
Okay. I'm in a similar
Miami comes
position.
out, yeah, yeah. Miami, whoever controls that's my thing. Whoever controls the glass this game wins this game.
I feel you. I'm in a similar position, similar standpoint as you. I just don't see Boston winning three before Miami wins one. you know,
Exactly. That's why I'm thinking Miami's going to win this one, but whoever win this series at the end of the day, but they need to not be so soft on the glass this time around like they were last game.
they got to show that they want it, man. They got to play. They're. I feel like they're playing like it's the first round, or they're playing like they're coming into the postseason, like they're still playing like it's the last like 3-4 games of the regular season. Like they don't look like they really care. like they
Exactly. But Jimmy the Butler needs to start giving them L's again. So
Yes, he does. I need Miami to hurry this up so we can June 1st final start and we can see how we fare up against the Denver Nuggets, who have been going crazy right now.
thanks
They
for the
swept.
segue.
They swept.
They swept the Lakers. They broke the brooms out and they just swept them.
They
They
broke.
made them look like absolutely
Man,
nothing.
the broom is around the corner. If I had it right here, man, I'd be doing it. They they don't. Man, I feel for the Lakers. And when I say for the Lakers, I say for Lakers fans because man, like I said, since the bubble, NBA Twitter has been in the shitter. That's the slogan. NBA
It's been
Twitter has been in
hilarious.
the shitter.
It's been here. It's been hilarious to watch. That's why I don't react to vast majority of everybody's takes. Um, my biggest thing with this 4-0 series sweep is this: one, Jokic proved last season they probably would have got here as well if Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. did not get hurt. If they
Yeah.
weren't so injury ridden last season, the Nuggets would have been here.
That's what I've been telling people. I was like, why is everyone surprised that the Nuggets are doing good? They've always been good. They just always got hit with injury. It was either Jamal
Hmm?
and PJ or both of them. But this time they're not hurt, so they're doing good. Like what? This is pretty
I'm still
common
gonna
sense
say
right
this. I'm still gonna throw this out there. They should have never got rid of them powder blue jerseys.
The powder blue jerseys?
Yeah, they used to have when Iverson and Melo were with the Nuggets. They had
Oh,
these powder blue and yellow
you talk
jerseys.
about
They were
yeah, way
fucking
back
beautiful.
then. I'm thinking you talking about something like recent. No, yeah, those jerseys
No.
were clean. Especially the way the jerseys were made, like they were kind of like shiny too. Like
Hmm.
back then,
Just like the Sixers should have never changed the logo to what they have right now. That old freaking gold logo that they had
was
that said
yeah, that was
76ers
clean.
on it. That was
That was
hmm
clean.
and those black jerseys and the jerseys too. Oh my god. Why are we fixing shit that ain't broke?
Yeah, bro, you want to talk about okay. One more thing before we get back to that Nuggets talk. If you want to talk about jerseys real quick, Toronto's jerseys, the purple ones with
Shit.
the
I
little
love
the
those.
lines through them, bro. Come on, man. The retro
Those
jerseys are
are
the best ones.
clean.
Those jerseys,
Those are
man.
clean.
Like,
Shit.
I'm not even a Toronto fan, but I get a Raptors jersey just because it looks so good. Like when even for soccer, like I've always wanted a Juventus jersey because their jerseys just look so fire. Like that's just my truth. If you want to talk about people
That's gonna have to
shouldn't
be a
rebrand.
conversation for another pot. this is gonna have to be a full blown conversation for another podcast. Just like, and I'm gonna throw that one in there if we do that. That needs to be sports in general, not just hoops, because there are a
Yeah,
lot of fantastic jerseys out there for all sports.
yeah. And so sometimes we will get in here. We'll just be able to just chop it up normally. I just
Mm-hmm.
had to build up my my knowledge on other sports little by little, bro. But as the
I'm
basketball
gonna get
season's
you into
coming
some
to a wrap,
NFL, man. I swear.
yeah, as the basketball season's
I'm
coming
gonna
to
get
a
you.
wrap, I'm gonna have to find something to do. I mean, like I said,
Baseball
this is
season's
more.
really the only thing going. Oh,
Nah,
and the
nah, nah.
WNBA season. Let's not forget about them. And WNBA just tipped off recently.
Yes, because this is not just this is not an NBA podcast. This is the basketball podcast. So WNBA for sure. Baseball, yeah, they can go fuck themselves. I'm not doing no baseball coverage.
I'm
I
gonna
don't.
tell. Hey, watching a game on TV versus watching a game in real life are two totally different things.
Okay,
I
fair.
am telling you this out of my personal experience. I have a minor league team in my
I know. I feel you. I've been to a few baseball games in person.
town.
Not terrible. They were. It was as a kid. Not terrible, but yeah, I would never. You will never see me watching baseball on television. I can't.
Right. That I
I
agree
can't.
with. It's
I
like
I
I'm
haven't
a
been to a
Cubs
baseball
fan
game
through
in
and
some
through.
years, but I would
Cause
definitely
like
go now as an adult. You know, you can get a beer, you get some hot dogs, you can be chilling. It might be a little long, but you can leave whenever you want. Like shoot, it's not a hassle. But yeah, not on
yeah.
TV, no.
Nowadays with the pitch clock, nowadays ever since they implemented the pitch clock rules, the games have been sped up from like well over 3.5 hours down to like 2.5 hours.
Okay, that's great. That's great. That I can deal with, bro. But before we get too far into it,
Obviously,
so you want to say
but that
something else? Go
obviously
ahead.
it's like that obviously just it doesn't count for only counts for like just regular run games and everything like that. Nothing with like extra innings or anything like that. That's about it.
Yeah, forget all
Um,
that, bro. I can't do all that. I can't. This is coming from a
today's
guy
quick
that
choice.
I gave up on baseball when I was playing t-ball. That's how long I've had a hatred towards baseball since t-ball days. So like, in baseball, me just never clicked.
Tore
But
my
let's.
rotator cuff playing ball, and that's how I learned how to use learn how to use both hands. So I'm ambidextrous because of it.
Okay, so you got to give baseball some props to your development. I feel you, man.
Tore my right rotator cuff, and forced me to learn how to use my left hand.
Actually, speaking of baseball, watch how I tie this into it. All right, so speaking of baseball, we all know Michael Jordan left for 2 years, or about a year and a half to go play baseball, and now we're at the point where the next coming of the next person that could be included in this GOAT conversation, LeBron, with his whole retirement thing. You think LeBron can go play baseball for 2 years and come back?
Um,
Oh, I don't know why that I just thought of that in the head. You think LeBron can go play baseball and come back?
no,
Just because I just remember him
no,
talking about retirement and the
no.
whole thing with the Lakers and stuff, bro. Like,
No, if he did that earlier in his career, then yes, I could see that being a major benefit to how he plays now. Because let's be serious when I say this: when you are at bat facing down a pitcher, that ball does something to you. Because there is something about baseball. You can be successful 3 out of 10 times and still be considered great in baseball.
hmm
That little ball does something to you, and that is coming from a quote directly from. He is now currently the coach of the Colorado Buffaloes and college football team, Dion Dion Sanders, primetime himself.
Deion Sanders, man.
And he straight up said it. He's probably one of the greatest athletes of all time. And he straight up said baseball is one of the hardest sports to learn, um, because that little ball just does something to you. Try swinging at a ball coming at you at about 102 miles an hour.
Oh yeah, not happening. I'm jumping out of the way,
From 90 feet away.
just like how the Lakers jumped out of the way. And she they wanted to win the game.
Good tie.
I
Love
can't,
it.
man. Nuggets were taking hella swings at them. The only person that stepped up was fucking LeBron in that last game, man. 31 in the first half.
Get your bed together.
31 in the first half, bro. They were up 15 and they still didn't pull through. I literally I turned the game off. I didn't watch much of game 4. I didn't care to. I don't know if it was I was
No,
just going through something that day or what it was, but I honestly just didn't care to watch that game 4.
yeah.
I kept up on it, I stayed up on it, I didn't just completely ignore it. I was just doing other stuff in the background. And yeah, I saw that they were up, and then I checked the next day and I saw that they lost. After I saw that they
You're
were up
like,
at half,
how?
yeah, after I saw that they were up at half, I was like, okay, this should be straight. And I woke up and then it said Nuggets to the finals, and I was like, wait, what? Like, did I sleep like 3 days?
Dude,
Did I skip a day? Like,
that was a choke job for the ages, only rivaling that of freaking. Oh dear God! How many times this freaking Super Bowl has been referenced in the NFL? That Atlanta Hawks choke job. They were up 28-3 halfway through the third quarter and lost in overtime. Oh
yeah,
shit! I
that's
can do one
embarrassing.
even better in a most recent football one. How the Chargers choked away a 28 to nothing lead halfway through the third quarter and lost to the Jaguars.
Yeah, that's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. Throw the whole team away. No, I'm just playing.
Exactly.
Throw the whole team away. But we are coming up on that mark now, Brody. So it's
I'll be in
about
it
time
about
we
32
start
minutes. Okay.
wrapping up this lovely episode. Man, it's always first and foremost before you wrap up, man. I just want to say it's always good to have you out. My
Whenever I'm
most favorite
available,
guest.
whenever you're up to record and I'm available, I'm here.
Hey man, we finally, it seems like we finally found the sweet spot on how to get these recordings in together. I already have a sticky note on how to, reset it all back up. We know that our only real technical difficulty now is whether or not my AirPods want to be competent.
Get a new set if you have to.
Yeah, bro, I'm about to. At
If you
this
can
point,
afford it.
shoot, not right now. I can't. I'm out of work. But
Dude, check your. This might be crazy. Where exactly are you? If you don't mind me asking, what city are you in?
I'm in West Palm. I'm in South Florida.
Check out. Look for it might not be much for right now, but at least it'll help tide you over for a little while. Why don't you check out the plasma donation spots?
Mm-hmm. Oh, like you said, bro, I'll check them out. Just send me some
Yeah,
information. Send me some links on it if you can.
Oh, dude, I work at one up here. I don't know what it is down there at West Palm. I do know that my centers. I do my center because I work at CSL. Um, I do know we have one in Miami. I do know we have one in Orlando.
Yeah, those
I
are
don't know
both.
where the nearest one to West Palm would be.
Yeah, Miami and
Far
Orlando.
away.
That's like 2.5 hours north, and then two and a half hours
Geez, you
south.
sound like you've been from up here in the upper Midwest, where we judge distance by how long it takes to get there.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I don't know about miles, bro. I just know how long I am till I get to Universal Studios and stuff like that. But that's really
All
dope. Volunteering.
right. It's not so much it's like donating part of your blood is what I'm saying, and you actually get paid for plasma. So I mean, I know it might actually help tide you over for a little bit.
Okay.
So
Probably.
because you can do it like twice a week. I would advise having a couple days in between your two donation days, and whatever your 2 days are, stick to them and get there regularly.
Well, shoot. Well, there you have it, folks. If you ever need some extra bread, listen to what Scorpio said just now, man. Don't be afraid to donate and volunteer and help out the community. It'll hold you over
The
and
other
make you
thing,
feel like a better man, or woman, or child. Well, no, not
nah, you
children,
gotta be at least
obviously.
18.
Yeah, not children, obviously. I'm bugging.
Other things too, though, to keep in mind, you got to make sure that you ain't got nothing funky going on or anything like that. You don't want you don't want to be going in there. You got, obviously this is a joke one, but a serious at the same time. You can't be having somebody else's separate kind of syphilades.
Yeah.
Um, but as long as everything's all cleaned up, because everything gets tested. Yeah, it ain't gonna get past us. It'll get tested.
Yep.
and pulled away and pulled out of the system and pulled out of stock and everything. But everything is also all confidential, so nobody's gonna know who's got what. So in case that happens to be a thing.
And shoot again. There goes the Scorpios. There goes Ryan's official endorsement on donating plasma.
Check out CSL. That's my center.
There should be one available nearby. I'll definitely check that out, bro. That was great advice. Before we go though, I did want to, for me personally, I just wanted to say shout out to Melo for announcing retirement. Hall of Fame Melo, first ballot. Himself. Yes, sir. He would definitely go enjoy his retirement. I mean, I'm sure he's still been working out.
Olympic gold medalist, and I swear I believe he was a college champion in Syracuse, but 3-time Olympic gold medalist alone should earn him a trip to the Hall of Fame. And I think he's also number 8 all-time in scoring currently.
He's first ballot Hall of Famer, no doubt about it. Rings don't amount to everything.
He's definitely exactly, and he exactly. He's definitely going to go down in history as one of the best scorers of all time to never win one.
Exactly. Yeah, it comes down to, like, you could say he's never won an NBA championship, but he definitely won in life. He definitely won in life, man. You can't take that away from him, man.
One thing he better bring up in his not Canton. I'm thinking NFL. In his
retirement speech?
Hall of Fame induction is in his Hall of Fame induction speech, or even that retirement speech, or both of them really, has to be that sit down conversation that he had with David Stern, and who was the previous commissioner of the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
That really helped him turn his life around, because he was on that Josh hit early in his career, kind of like the same thing, and then David Stern sat him down personally and said, "Look, I want you here in this league, and you got to make a choice to do what's best for you and your family, and not have these people around, kind of thing." Because these people around you weren't good for him, clearly, and really helped Melo clean up his life.
Yeah,
that's something that has to be mentioned, in my opinion.
Most def. Like, there's something important like that. Most def. You gotta give props for what they do. I'm happy for him, man. Like I said, he had a great career. I'm gonna miss him. I'm definitely gonna miss him. I still remember watching him drop 62 in Madison Square. All the jump shots. He dropped 62 or something like that. All jump shots. I remember that game. Definitely gonna miss him. But on that note,
that's nuts. All jumps.
All jumps,
serious.
Man.
That part, oh wow, that's impressive.
All right, and on that note, we're gonna close out here. The Miami game starts in under half an hour now, so I'm gonna start prepping for that. It was nice talking to you again, Scorp. Thanks for helping me get some content out.
Always a pleasure, brother.
Episode 9 should be a hit, man. I can't wait for number 10. We should definitely try to get back together next week. Is this time good for you? It was today, like Thursday around?
No, because I'll be working. No, because I'm going to be working. All
right. No,
I will get back to you on that with certainty. If nothing else, I know I should have. I work this weekend. I know I'll have next weekend off.
Okay. Well, you guys hear that? We'll probably be back within 2 weeks with another episode with Scorp. I might drop one before that, just for the hell of it. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.